Alhamdulillah, salatu salam ala Rasulullah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, guys. I think a lot about the people that are struggling the most in this world, right? I always try to put myself in their shoes and wonder, what would I do if I was in their shoes, right? And I try to empathize with their situation, because you never know if you would pass their test or not, right? All I know is about my test. All I know is what I'm going through. I can't know for sure what you're experiencing. But I can tell you, even though I might not be able to relate to what you're going through, that whatever it is I've ever gone through and continue to go through, whether or not you could imagine I'm being tested or not, I can't say compared to you. I really can't make that assumption, right? I don't know. But for everything that I ever have gone through, I can honestly say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has always given me the ability to at least withstand the test, right? Allahu Alam, if I've even passed all my tests or if I failed most of my tests, I don't know. Only Allah knows the report card. All I know is that I've always tried my best to, right? And sought the forgiveness and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of the countless shortcomings I know we all have. No one is passing with flying colors, right? If you think you are, then you've already failed. You see what I'm saying? We have to really be humble like that and understand that don't think, you're great. None of us should think we're great. That's something Musa always tells me if I ever start talking trash, right? My son, he's like, Daddy, don't think you're so great, right? He always puts me in my place. That's why I love him so much. But anyway, the struggle that people are going through is so diverse and intense and different and things that some people can't even imagine what it is. But regardless, right, there are some baseline similarities we're all gonna face, and understand that no matter who you are, you're either in one test or another. Nobody is really home free in this dunya. If you're a believer, I can honestly tell you, right, I look at a lot of the mu'mins that I consider mu'mins, right? True believers of the religion, true practitioners of the religion, true people that love this deen, okay? And apply whatever they can to the deen, or apply what they will to the deen. You understand? That do incredible things for this religion. People that I don't envy, that have way more than I'll probably ever see in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to be like any of those people. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't know what people are going through. You think in your head, I want to be like that guy. He's got it all. But you don't get inside their homes. See, the thing about me is I get into a lot of homes, right? I see a lot of what's on the inside now, right? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I would never trade my place with any of them. And these are the people that I'm just imagining that have all this money. Not even the non-Muslim people that I know that have money. I can't find a single person with wealth that's well off that I would trade places with. I'd probably trade places with you though, right? If it was like handed to me as an option and it was given to me as a choice between this and that, I would actually take your state of poverty, to be like frankly honest with you. You see what I'm saying? I would take your place in poverty, man. I could withstand that, but I could not withstand children that are completely ungrateful to their parents. Children that are completely disobedient. Children that really disrespect both of their parents. You understand? I couldn't stand living in a world where I'm not strong enough to basically overcome my own ability, right, to simply let go of all of the headaches that come with having money. These people that get money, dude, they had to go through a very rigorous process of disciplines and practices and things that they're so used to doing it, they can't break out of it no more. They watch every penny they spend, man. And it's not easy to live that life. Everybody wants it. Try living that way. Wallahi, it's not even conducive to being a human being anymore. Everybody thinks they want what everyone else has, but they don't realize once you get there, it's not what it seems. Don't ever look at another man's pocket, man. Don't ever look at someone else's situation and desire that. Because what you're actually doing when you do that is you're belittling, right, your own decree. Allah decreed your life with your struggle and your test and what's unique about what your relationship is going to be with your Lord. There was a slave, right, once in Mecca, subhanallah. And this slave, subhanallah, used to make dua. And every time he made dua, Allah would answer his dua, no matter what he asked for. And he used to keep it to himself. Nobody knew his secret. This is something he kept between himself and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what he cherished. And so one time there was a drought where it hadn't rained in a long time in Mecca. Subhanallah. And so there was, I believe it was a Sahaba actually. I can't remember the name of the Sahaba, but there was a Sahaba that basically went and, he knew about this person and he wanted to just kind of, hear him. Like he kind of was trying to listen to what he was doing, right? And he found him praying, near the Kaaba, and what he did is he was able to hear this slave, right? A person who had nothing, was just basically living the bare means of this world, had nothing in this world, but could ask for anything if he wanted it. That's what's so interesting. I'll show you the rest of the story. But anyway, he listens to him and he finds him praying and he hears him asking Allah to bring about some rain. His supplication was asking Allah, oh Allah, we haven't had rain. Could you please supply us some rain, right? The animals need rain. The people need rain. There's, this is causing a problem here. So then, almost immediately, right, the rain ended up coming. And so that guy knew. He's like, the Sahaba knew. He's like, yeah, that was right, his dua. I know that's what it was. Like he had no doubt about it that this slave, right, his duas were being answered. Simple as that. Like it was that obvious. He had like not a second thought about it. So anyway, he approaches him, and he talked to him about that. And so, basically the slave said, yes, it's true. Allah answers all of my duas. And he said, however, now that you found out, I no longer have another reason to live. He said, because the only thing that I cared about in this life was my sincerity between me and Allah. And that's all I actually really cared about. And he died shortly afterwards. Allah took his soul from this world. A man that came to this world, became a Muslim, right? Never got out of the bondage of slavery, which whatever was decreed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have that lifestyle. However, he was closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the other people who were praying for the same thing. His du'as were the ones that were answered. The people who owned him, their du'as weren't being answered. It was their servants' du'as that were being answered. And he lived in this life in a way where he could have asked for anything. He didn't even think to ask for Allah to give him wealth, to give him freedom, to give him all of these things. All of us, including myself, I'm praying for every day. I beg Allah to make me a millionaire, right? But, that's my desire. I do want to become rich. That's my goal. I mean, I do want to spend it for the sake of Allah, but that's what I want, Alhamdulillah, everybody has their thing. But the thing is, you see what I'm saying? Look at this individual. he didn't want anything. He had no desire except to keep the sincerity between him and his Lord, and to keep that relationship between him and Allah as close as possible. That's all he lived for. Now, you are in your part of the world, and I know it's tough, but if we do take a look at the times of the Sahaba, they had it much worse. They had it much worse. They had it much worse. But instead of looking at your situation as a deficit, instead of looking at whatever you're going through as something that's going to be the end of the world now, no matter how hard it is. I know it can be hard, and I'm not saying I don't empathize with that. May Allah lift you and help you and cure you and heal you and guide you, inshallah, through all that you're going through, right? I pray for that for you. However, don't ever think it's the end of the world. You have the ability to enter into the world's greatest, Iman training program of all time. You can enter a level of Iman that these people with money just won't even be able to scratch the surface. La ilaha illallah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that if the people saw the reward of those who suffered hardships on the day of judgment, they would have wished that their skins would have been cut. This is a Sahih Hadith. I just read it the other day too. Subhanallah. La ilaha illallah. So by the will of Allah, I pray that Allah will guide us and let us realize your struggle is not the end of your world. Your struggle is just a training ground for you to get closer to Allah than all of us combined. And this is something that if you just scratch the surface of in your Iman, and you focus on gaining knowledge and make use of your time when you think you've got nothing to do in this world, well, if you don't have the ability to get work and you don't have the ability to go do this and that, then that means you're free to study, man. What are you wasting your time for? This is a special time that you have where you don't have a million responsibilities, okay? Don't think life here in the West is like roses. People are literally shooting up schools, man. That's how crazy people are going. This system is very harsh environment on your system. And for the people that make it, look at the ones that do get here. They lose all of their Iman. Okay? Do you really want to trade places with those guys? Hellfire is open for all, whoever wants to go. Is that really what you're seeking? To just get those few desires fulfilled for yourself out of this world? That's not the case. I want you guys to really stop and really focus and understand the opportunity you actually have. And that's to get closer to Allah than any one of us could. You have the time to do it. You have the free time to do it. I know there's somebody knowledgeable somewhere near you that you can travel to. Look at Salman al-Farsi and how far he went from Persia and then to some parts of Rome and to the Sham, and then from the Sham he went all the way and finally found himself in Medina until he finally saw the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, over years he searched and searched and searched. You guys just have to go a few blocks away, man. You understand? Allah made it way easier for you than you realize to get closer to Him in a way that nobody can compete with. So I also want you to see, despite your struggle, the opportunity in your struggle. May Allah guide us and may Allah forgive us. That's what I wanted to say for y'all, okay? May Allah make your struggle easier. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.